The one and only Victoria Hart. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome her back. This is your third visit. It's been a long time between the second and now, but with open arms, welcome back, Victoria Hart.
Oh, it's great to be here.
You look wonderful.
Well, thank you. You do.
What's the occasion? What's with this gorgeous outfit? Which you
You know
folks
I
are
always dress like this.
they're going to get to see on the video
Oh, they
because
will do.
Puffy is here. He's taking some video. We'll put it up on our website. This is you look like you're ready to cheerlead. You really do.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Jeff Gerd is here. You brought Jeff along,
I
right?
did.
The only thing missing today is a guitar for some reason.
I
right?
know.
We tried to solicit some people. There's not a. We have 60 some odd people, Puffy, working in the building,
More.
and not one musician. There's nobody who has. Come on in, Bill Brown. Did you bring Bill? Did you bring a guitar?
Oh, shoot. I have like 10 of them. I should have brought one.
No. Yeah, we try. I stayed up all night pulling my hair out of my head. What's left of it, by the way. And nobody has a guitar. So Jeff was going to strum. You were going to sing. We have plenty of great recorded music. We're going to have a wonderful time. Bob Perry is going to try and get in a little bit later. Even our afternoon man, and this is a rarity. You want a rarity? Having the afternoon man show up on time for his show is a rarity. No less early. So if he does, because he didn't have a chance to interview you last time, if he does show up early, I'm going to take a step back and have Joe ask a couple of questions.
Great. Sounds like fun.
All right, I guess we should start with this latest project that we are so delighted to have. We've had it for 3 or 4 days now. Tell us a little bit about I Can See Clearly Now, how this whole thing came about, how Claudia Fielding got involved. Take us from step one on this latest project.
Well, there's a charity out in England called Children in Need,
Mhm.
which is a big, massive yearly thing, and we raise money for children all over the world. And one of the biggest radio stations in England, Radio 2, hold an auction, and we decided to put up an auction to do a duet with me, and which was really great and really fun. I mean, we raised £10,000, so I don't know how much that is in dollars for Children in Need.
Mhm.
And then I got to record this duet with this little girl, and she was so sweet, and I think she's 12. And
Yeah, it says right here, because a little bit of information was sent along with the record. It says she's 12 years old and won a competition. It doesn't say what she had to do. What did they have to do to compete?
it was an auction, pretty much. It wasn't necessarily a competition. I
Oh.
suppose who can spend the most money competition.
That'll do it.
I know, that would do it.
The two of you sound wonderful on this piece.
Oh, she's so very cute, isn't she?
Did Jeff arrange?
Yes, he did, he did.
Great job.
Thank you,
I
sir.
love this arrangement. We are really, really thrilled. Last time you were here, because you made 2 appearances in our studios back to back in 2 or 3 days, you were just beginning work on the Lost Gershwin.
I was.
And here it is. Now it's been a while. The album is not only finished, it was released in England last year, and you were nice enough to send us a copy, and we've been playing it ever since. It went over
Oh.
very, very well, because Gershwin is one of the core composers for this genre of music.
Definitely.
He's the granddaddy. And it was the whole concept of finding some very, very rare George Gershwin pieces to record in itself is, come on in, Bill Brown, you don't have to wait any old time, Bill Brown. What do
Don't
you got?
interfere.
Did you find a guitar?
We're out of
No,
guitars.
We're fresh out. We're fresh out of guitars today. But the concept of finding 12 rare, and in some cases never recorded before Gershwin pieces, like you were saying last time, had to be immense in itself, just to dig up the tunes. Let's take us back to a little bit of what we were talking about last time, how you guys discovered some of these.
It was through Corinza Peacock, who was the head of the string quartet that I was working with, and we wanted to work together, and we wanted a new idea for an album, and she was just talking about this case that she had up in her loft that she inherited from a lady called Eve Stannard, who used to play all the old standards to troops during the war.
Right.
And because there were no sheet music in England, she would get the American troops, tell them like when the next troops come over to bring sheet music over for her, and that was basically her whole collection from that. And,
Yeah.
And then we dug through this suitcase, and then we're like, oh my God,
I know.
there's so many that we have never ever heard of before. So it was just like an opportunity that we couldn't.
Right. How did Washington, D.C. play into this story?
Well, we got then we met up with this one of the cousins, or I don't know, what is his name? Leopold
Godowski the
Godowski the third. And he was one of the last surviving Gershwin family members.
Right.
And then he gave us permission to go to the Library of Congress in Washington.
Yes.
And then we sort of dug through and got loads more songs that we could put on the album, and it was really funny. And we had to put like little white gloves on and sift through the things with tweezers, and it was very fun.
Yeah, that's hollow ground. I mean, those are archives above archives.
Exactly.
You even found, and we're going to play it a little bit later on, you even found the very first Gershwin tune he ever wrote. When was it? When You Want 'Em, You Can't Get 'Em? Was that the first song he wrote?
It's like the most roll off your tongue title ever
Right.
known.
There's a bunch of great songs on here, great artists on here. Paval did a beautiful job. We fell in love with Paval's work on this album. And there's another regular WHLI listener who, after we premiered this album, it wasn't too long before she showed up at the studio, and guess what she had in her hand? A Russell Watson CD.
Oh, she did.
She's a big fan of Russell Watson.
Okay.
She had seen him in concert. She has a couple of his records. And what an operatic voice. I didn't know he had this operatic quality.
Well, after listening to him on this.
Because he's we're going to play the cut with him right now.
Yeah, well, he's actually does like two sorts of music. I went on tour with him last summer.
Right, I saw that video.
Yeah, and if it's really strange, like his concert, because it's got such a wide range of music. Like he's doing like country songs, massive opera production songs, and then he does like the whole Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé sort of thing.
And he can shift gears with his voice depending on what style of music you're working on.
Exactly.
So she goes, here, play this, and see how, because at the time we were playing Paul Potts, another.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, we were, in fact, we're still playing. He has a brand new album out now called Passione, but we were playing his first album, One Chance, when it first came out. So that's when she showed up and said, we like Paul Potts a lot, but I want you to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
Simply because you're playing his duet with Victoria. Listen to what he really can do. And we were blown away with it. But speaking about blown away, I'm blown away with this track. I told Lynn, is Lynn still your manager?
She isn't anymore.
She isn't? What happened?
No, well, she's retired, and I'm free, so I'm manager shopping at the moment.
Okay. Well, we don't have a guitar. We got a manager. He's raising his hand. Fucking raising his hand. But after listening to the album, I have a habit of always picking my favorite, if I can.
Oh.
You know, if one jumps at me and says, hey, this is so good, this has got to be my favorite. This was a no-brainer for me. And I even told Lynn this. I go, I have my favorite. And it turns out it isn't a pity with Russell Watson. It's just something about this. It hooks you from the get-go. It doesn't let go. It's so likable, and it stays that way. And I appreciate the style of duet in the fact that he takes the first part, and it takes you 5 years to come in before we even hear from you. People who are listening go, he said Victoria Hart. I don't hear Victoria. It's
suspense. Suspense.
Yes, it's clever. It's just congratulations on this track.
Thank you.
I love this track from the Lost Gershwin, Victoria Hart, Russell Watson, and Paval.